Week 12 is in the books after the Packers dismantled the 49ers by a score of 38-10 on Sunday afternoon. And I don't care if the 49ers are banged up. This is exactly what you want to see. There's always going to be people complaining no matter what the result is. If the Packers had won on a last-minute field goal, people would be saying, oh, this team sucks and can't even beat a 500 football team riddled with injuries. People have already said, congratulations, you beat up on a crappy team. Now, every team is dealing with injuries. And remember, the Packers have had 2.5 games without Jordan Love, and they've won all of them. And my God, beating the 49ers felt good. And even though it wasn't a playoff game, I like to think that this was the game that completely destroyed their playoff hopes and hopefully their playoff chances as well. Now, this team has been the Packers' kryptonite for years, for a decade or longer. We can't seem to beat the 49ers in the playoffs, and it felt good to see them go home after getting the shit beat out of them. And there was a little bit of nerves during the game. Packers were up 24-10, and it still felt like the 49ers could come back before the Packers put their foot down. Then Xavier McKinney picked off Brandon Allen, which started a slew of turnovers. And now Xavier McKinney has 7 interceptions on the season, and hats off to Brian Gutekunst for bringing him in this offseason. Gutekunst has made 2 huge free agent signings this offseason. We're going to talk about the other one. I'm sure you guys know what it is. But Xavier McKinney has made a huge impact. And it's obvious that the other free agent signing that's been a huge impact player for the Packers is Josh Jacobs. So Josh Jacobs finished the day with 26 carries for 106 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he was just plowing through people. I mean, the 49ers couldn't seem to tackle him. So I don't know what Josh Jacobs has been doing, but he needs to keep doing it because he has been awesome these last few games. And if there was any doubt about the Aaron Jones release and the signing of Josh Jacobs, I think this game has completely erased it because Jacobs has been incredible. He can also run a lot more than Aaron Jones. I know that game against the Colts, I don't remember how many times he ran, but I think he ran like 40-something times, and Aaron Jones was just not that type of running back. So having a running back like Josh Jacobs and having that threat of the play action is what I think is going to carry the Packers far into the postseason. Just watch some of the plays these last few games and see how open some of the receivers are. I mean, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Romeo Doubs, sometimes there's nobody within 10-15 yards of them. Matt LaFleur is an incredible offensive mind, and it really seems like some plays the defense has no idea what the hell's going on. So Jordan Love had a good day. He had 2 touchdowns, and he only had 163 yards passing. But again, when your running back rushes for over 100 yards and scores 3 touchdowns, you don't really need your QB to be Superman. And I think that that's what Jordan Love needs, is to be a little bit less in the passing game, and we need to rely more on the running game. This was also Jordan's first game of the season without an interception. But there was that game against the Cardinals. He threw that 1 interception where I think it was Romeo Doubs fell down, so I'm not going to count that against him. And I think there needs to be a stat for interceptions that aren't QB's fault. But I doubt the NFL would ever do that. So the Packers are now 8-3 with 6 games remaining. We got the Dolphins tomorrow night on Thanksgiving, and I think we're going to win that. The Dolphins are a good team, and they've been really good since Tua's been back, but I just don't trust them in the cold. I know that's the narrative, and I know anything can happen, but I played this game over and over in my head, and I just don't see the Dolphins winning. And I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think the Packers will win pretty handily. So yeah, let's hope the Packers get the win tomorrow, move to 9-3, and at that point I think the playoffs are pretty much a lock. Nothing's ever a guarantee, but 9-3 with 5 games left, yeah, they're going to make it. Also, that would be the second time a Wisconsin team has beaten a Miami team this week, because Bucks beat the Heat last night without Giannis, and they're back at 500, so that's awesome.